Fun Fact the Game Show with your host, Doug Sharpe.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, it's so nice to be back with you again tonight. Hi, my name's Doug Sharpe, and welcome to Fun Fact the Game Show. Thank you. This is episode 2 of Fun Fact the Game Show. Is anyone a repeat tonight from the... No way, awesome. Thank you so much for coming back. That's so fun. We are here today at the beautiful Review stage on Granville Island in British Columbia. Just want to start the... thank you. I know, you remember that from the last show. I appreciate that. Bit of a somber note to start things off on. Hearts go out to everyone who's experiencing wildfires right now. I know my home zone of Pemberton is really experiencing some hard fires right now, so our hearts go out to everyone who is experiencing a fire, and sorry it's happening. A little bit of an angry tone from me is, feels weird. Every time we ask for fire prevention or nurses or doctors, we never have it, but all of a sudden we had $1.1 billion for FIFA. It's going to be the only time you ever hear a political statement. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, only time you ever hear a political statement from me. And for everyone asking, why is this guy on stage talking about Canadian politics? Hello to all our online viewers. Welcome to Fun Fact the Game Show. I have been Canadian. I always will be Canadian. A lot of people forget that, and they don't know that. So welcome to the show tonight. If you are watching us online on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you find these shows, you can go to play.funfactgameshow.com, create an account, and you can play along with us live here on the stage. A lot of people were upset last time about having to create an account, but there's a good thing to creating an account, which is you are going to be added to our recap. We are keeping track of all of your scores, and at the end of today's performance, we will get a top in-venue performer, a top online performer, and some of you may remember if you were here last time or if you watched the last performance, myself and Min Q had a little bit of fun at the end of last show. I know someone in here brought that up during the pre-show. Nice. Lennon, how are you? Nice to see you again. Welcome back. Min, we're watching you. Watch yourself. Be careful. So yes, if you're watching us online, please go to play.funfactgameshow.com and join us here in the venue. And now the first thing I would like to do is just everyone... Little funny story about me. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. I come from a family of athletes. My sister won the Olympics in 2018, took home a silver in 2022, won the female ski halfpipe. Yeah, she took 2 X Games gold medals before having a child, another X Games gold medal after having a child, which is pretty elite. Brother is also an Olympian, X Games winner, 4 times X Games medalist, and something that drove me a lot as I was growing up was I'd meet people and they'd say, what do you do? And I'd say, oh, I'm a construction worker or I'm an Uber driver. People go, wow, what happened to you? And very funny joke, I agree, but it did kind of hit me for a while. And not only did I not have the talent or the discipline or the skill or the desire or the ability, I could never block out the noise. And last show when I was behind the curtain, our stage manager, Iana, asked me, like, are you ready? How do you feel? And I said, feels like I'm 12 years old at a snowboard contest again, you know? And my big problem was always going too fast, you know, throwing a trick too hard and losing the run. And after the last episode, everyone was like, hey, just take a breath. So I'm glad we all took that breath together and we can now move forward into a slower, calmer, better state. Just before we get started today, everyone's all logged into the software already? Sweet. Well, just before we get started, I would love to remind everyone, we here at Fun Fact Game Show firmly stand against AI, and everything you see here today was made by humans. Nothing was generated. Our software came from Hannah Kchelin, our graphic designer and stage designer, Grace Johnson, graphic designer, Francisco Galter. Theme song was done by The Kayak at mucksoundmill.com, and I'm just really proud of everyone. Oh, and our live stream team and this whole production is being run by We Film Events, so huge thank you to them. Something an artist said to me a long time ago was, it'll never work in the creative industries because you can feel the traces of humanity people leave behind, and I hope you can feel that in this show. Okay, with all that out of the way, should we see what they built? Fantastic. Well, let's get to it. This is going to be our first warm-up question. Everyone get your phone out. You're only going to get 8 seconds to answer it, so Up and ready. Okay, let's get started. Episode 2. So our first question for tonight is going to be, Uncle Chen was a Chinese marathon runner who was known for doing what during races? Singing, drinking alcohol, walking, or smoking? You've got 8 seconds to get your answer in. Some of you might remember, I give away the answers a little bit in these little 8-second spiels, so I'm always trying to avoid doing that. That's the ding I'm looking for. And we can all see these orange and blue lines, which we have readjusted this time to account for the numbers. The orange line is what you all in this venue answered, and the blue line is what everyone online answered. So you can constantly compare your answers to what everyone else is saying. But it looks like everyone already knew this one. Uncle Chen indeed chain smoked during marathons. Always chain smoked, and I haven't checked on this one in a while, but I think he did eventually get banned from running marathons because he couldn't do it without a dart. And so they were like, no, you're done. Like, this is no good. So that one's over. Let's try one more warm-up to get everyone familiar. Our next question is going to be, who invented the term carbon footprint? Was it Shell Oil, Greenpeace, BP Oil, or just Stop Oil? I love this one, and as always, I am not going to give it away midway through. How did we all lean? A lot of people leaning in the correct direction of Shell and Greenpeace. It was actually BP Oil. I'm sorry. After the Taylor Energy oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, they needed to figure out, like, everyone's mad at us. We've caused this big oil spill. How can we shift the onus of, climate responsibility onto the consumer and away from us? So they got a marketing agency that I didn't note down here in the notes. They came up with carbon footprint so that all of us would think, how am I hurting the environment? Taking the blame away from the 700 companies who contribute 70% of carbon emissions. We're gonna do one more warm-up before we get some people on stage here. Another little political one. Google's 2018 pay equity analysis found they were paying women more than men, they were paying HR more than software engineers, they were paying men more than women, or they had pay equity across the genders. Very interesting study out of Google that they even released this one to let everyone know, like, these are the data that we've been coming across. A lot of people going for paying HR more than software engineers. A lot of you were also correct. Yeah, they were paying women more than they were paying men. Yeah, I know, right. Google always starts, they have base pay, and then your manager can adjust your pay up or down. In this climate, the managers were consistently adjusting the female salaries up and taking the male salaries down to find that equality. After this report came out, Google paid $9.7 million to 10,000 employees to level the scales and make sure they did have pay equity across all of their genders and departments. So, with that, is everyone feeling pretty warmed up? Yeah? Okay, well, let's get some people on stage for our first contestant round. Love those little stingers, they're so nice. All right, let's see who's coming up first. First player on stage is going to be Luc. Luc. I have sweaty hands. You can either take the handshake or the fist bump. You lead it, the handshake. Thanks for coming, Luke. You can grab your podium right at the edge there. Next contestant is going to be Andy Dang. Andy, where are you? Andy, hello. You want the hand or the hand? There we go. You can grab your podium. We'll just get you to go all the way to the end there, Luke. You should see your name. Andy beside you. Fantastic. Next up, we've got Mia W. Is it Mia or Maya? Mia? Nice. Welcome, Mia. And we have got Sarah R. The most excited person to come on stage. Hello, Sarah. How are you, sweet angel? My fiancée, Sarah, everyone. That wasn't like some Bob Barker Family Guy skit. She's my fiancée. It's all good. Welcome to the stage, everyone. So the question I've been asked to ask is, other than Sarah, did either of you come with a fun fact for me tonight? Anyone got one loaded up? Okay, great. How did the contestant rounds go for everyone? Luke, how'd you do? Or the warm-up round, sorry.
I got the first 2 right, and I got the last one wrong.
Okay, coming in confident. Yourself, Andy?
Unfortunately, I'm starting with a big fat 0.
Okay, we'll see if we can't turn it around. Maya?
Mia.
Mia, it gets me every time. Mia, how'd it go for you?
Just got the first one.
Okay.
But I'll get the rest of these.
It's a good start. Yeah,
Good
you know,
start.
we're on the board. Sarah, how did it go for you?
I missed the second one.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sure you'll do
On
better.
purpose.
So before we ask these 4 lovely contestants any questions, we need to select them a category, all right? So that's going to come up on all of your player screens as well as you guys. We have got 3 categories here: 40-year-old virgin, pop culture, or that random category. Sarah might do strong in anything other than 40-year-old virgin, so if you're looking to trip up Sarah, I think that's the only one she's not spent some time with me around. Let's see. It looks like we're going for pop culture. So pop culture it is for our 4 contestants up there. And our first question is going to be, the inventor of the modern-day cubicle was never credited for his invention, had his idea stolen by the company he worked for, sold the patent and got rich, hated what he created. If you had built the modern-day cubicle, how would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about your invention? That is really the question that we need to answer here. How did we look up on stage? D's across the board. Luke, how did you get to D?
I imagine it was supposed to be like an open concept to kind of like have people socialize more often, but it just kind of created barriers and walls, and he probably hated that.
Indeed. Maya?
Mia.
Mia. I
Next
will.
time,
By the end of the,
next
I
time.
promise I will. Mia.
I think I saw like a YouTube video about this at one point. It's
Maybe.
somewhere in the back of my mind.
Yeah, it sounds right. Sarah, did you know this one?
If I had created the cubicle, I'd probably hate myself. So
You guys, I think you got it. Yes, he hated what he created. Luke, you had it like perfect. That's exactly what happened. He designed the cubicles to be these highly interworking, very communicative offices. And then once the companies saw what they were capable of, they just put walls up and just made it super not fun. So you had that one nailed on the head.
Probably saw it from you.
You might have. Let's see if you know this next one just as well. Here we go. A woman, she slapped a sheriff's deputy to intentionally get put in jail. Why would she do this? To quit smoking, to get a free meal, to get away from her kids, or to get out of work? What would you need to do? Like, what would be your choice of slapping a sheriff's deputy to accomplish? Looks like a lot of people have gone for to get out of work, get away from her kids. This is a very split answer. And Andy, you're the only one who went for something different. What, do you have kids?
No.
No?
Thankfully, no.
Is it because you would slap a sheriff's deputy to get away from them?
I feel like me and my brother were nuisances to my mother, that she would eventually do it.
Okay, fair enough. I think the 3 other ones up there have been watching some fun facts. It was indeed to quit smoking. That is why she slapped a sheriff's deputy. She did get thrown in jail. She was smoking 2 packs a day at 39. She called the jail and said, "Can I get taken to jail?" And they said, "No." And then she called again and she said, "Can I pay to get put in jail?" And they said, "No." And so she went to the courthouse, waited for a cop to exit, and got thrown in jail 60 days. But I don't know if she quit or not. So we're going to find out. Okay, on to our next one. We got Andy. I think you can pull it back through. All right, we have got the inventor of this food storage device was buried in one. Was it the Ziploc bag, the Tupperware, the plastic bag, or the Pringles can? Tupperware, legendary. I've been sad to see Tupperware go down. That was really, like, as a millennial, a nostalgic part of my childhood. We have got Luke on B. B, did you go for Tupperware? Because that's what I was explaining in the little interlude there.
I just thought it was the most practical of the 4.
It is. It is a very... Andy, I'm going to pick on you again. What, Ziploc bag?
I was just gonna say, like, it's pretty practical as well. Like, people use Ziploc bags for a lot of things.
Maya?
I think the Pringles can. I feel like you have to be a little quirked up to invent something like that. So maybe you'd go out quirked up too.
Yeah, fair. Sarah, did you know this one, or are you guessing?
I'm a little hungry, so I chose Pringles.
Fantastic. Good choice. It was the Pringles can.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, the inventor of the Pringles can was buried in a Pringles can. The funny part is, so, you know, the kids, they lose their dad. He's been cremated. They have to deal with the fact that they've got to bury in a Pringle can. So they go to a Walgreens, and they stand in front of the Pringles, and they go, "What flavor?" They had to figure out, like, what flavor Pringle can do we bury our dad in? I do believe they went for regular, plain flavor. So it was just a very normal burial. How are we looking? Andy, you are going to see a power-up on your pad in the next little bit here. The power-up could take you up 2 points if you get it right, but it's also going to take you down 2 points if you get it wrong. And we have seen some people end rounds with like -6s, -7s, so it does happen every once in a while. So I wish you the very best of luck on this next question.
Thank you.
The managing director of the Guinness Brewery created the Guinness Book of World Records to settle pub disputes because he couldn't find the answers he was looking for in encyclopedias. Pubs were asking for promotional items. His friends wouldn't believe him when he told them a fun fact. He missed a shot while hunting. This took place back in the, I gotta get better in my notes, the 1800s. It was Sir Hugh Beaver who came up with the original Guinness Book of World Records. Andy, did you take the power up?
I did not.
You didn't?
I don't want to go into the negatives.
Fair. I respect that. I respect that. Sarah, you were the only one who went for a different answer.
Yeah, I heard you said beaver, and I just thought.
We have had a great
know.
time with beavers recently, myself and Sarah. Performance arts, Beavers Beavering in Whistler. Shout out to Beavers Beavering. And I saw one just the other day on the river. And it was indeed the fact that he missed a shot.
I didn't even know that one.
It was. Good work for not taking that power up, Andy. You're staying in the positives. Sir Hugh Beaver, he went on a hunting trip with his friends. He missed a shot on a golden plover, and all his friends laughed at him. And he went, no, the golden plover is the fastest game bird in Europe. And they were like, no, you just suck at hunting. And so he went home and he stewed on it, and he couldn't get over it. And so he came up with the Guinness Book of World Records, like specifically because his friends had made fun of him, so that all the most interesting stuff was in there, and he could always prove his fun facts right. So shout out to Hugh Beaver, one of my, definitely, my type. We have got 2 questions left in this category. I believe Sarah's coming up on 4. Mamma mia. Mia, you are close on her heels with 3. I believe you can pull it up. Andy and Luke, you guys both have the power-up option. So take it at will. Andy, I might suggest it. Luke, as you...
I will.
Okay, you're going to go for it? Okay, well, get ready. Here, it's coming now. The most stressful video game is Mario Kart, Fortnite, Dark Souls, or FIFA. They calculated this by putting some people into like highly scientific places, brain scan machines, as well as pulse. And this game racked up people's pulse like nothing else compared. Andy, did you take it?
I did.
Nice. Luke, did you take it?
I did.
Okay, fair enough. Mia, Fortnite. You went for Fortnite. Modern.
Modern? I don't know.
Are you
These
gamer?
seem stressful. All the people I know who play them, they're like stressed out, so.
They are. Luke, Andy, you guys are in the hot seat right now. I'll ask why you guys chose what you chose.
I thought FIFA was one of the most popular games around the world.
Yeah.
And I know they had like a gambling component mixed in there with how they could get more to make your own team. So I thought that would be more stressful.
Okay.
But I don't think I won.
It's a well thought through answer. Yeah, the results are not looking great. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it is Mario Kart. Mario Kart is like exponentially more stressful than any of these other games. It was a sustained heart rate unlike any other game produced. And I think that just has to do with, beating your friends. It's more stressful when you got other people playing against you. Okay, so that's gonna level out the playing field a little bit. Andy, well done. Pulling yourself back into serious contention here. We've got 2 questions left in this category, and I think you got a chance. Okay, whenever George Costanza from Seinfeld needed to lie about what company he worked at, he would tell people about this fictional industry. Was it Vandelay, Initech, Kramerica, or Vanderlander? Everyone familiar with Seinfeld? It's getting a little bit millennial, a little bit niche in here, but this is one of my all-time favorites. Incredible script writing in Seinfeld. Okay, Luke, taking the power up, only different answer up there. What took you to Vandelay?
Oh, I had to turn off the power up?
I don't know. I've never played over there before, to be completely honest with you.
No, I just know the answer. It's hilarious.
Yeah, okay. We got Vandelay. You guys went for CCC Kramerica. Kramerica is close. Kramerica Industries was a real industry on Seinfeld, but George always was working for Vandelay Industries, and that was his fictional company. He was always trying to scam the unemployment or whatever else it was through Vandelay, which is going to take us to a very tight final question here. Mamma mia. Mia or Andy, you could definitely catch Sarah here, or Sarah might run away with it in our final question, which is Steven Spielberg really wanted to direct this upcoming video game adaptation. Which one? Street Fighter, Call of Duty, Resident Evil, or Mortal Kombat? What would Spielberg be very interested in directing? And the better question is, would you let him direct it? Because some studios don't love working with Spielberg. Huge split. Okay, we've got Andy and Luke on D, Mamma Mia on Call of Duty, and Sarah on Street Fighter. Mia, what took you there?
I don't know. These seem cinematic already.
Okay.
The game, so.
Fair. Two boys on the far left. Street Fighter, is it? You know it's coming, or Mortal Kombat? It's coming soon.
Yeah, it just came out recently. It's the only reason I
Yeah.
picked it.
Okay, fair enough. Mia, you've got this one. It was Call of Duty. Yeah. But the studio actually denied. Studio said no Spielberg, because Spielberg comes with the famous 360 deal where he gets like final cut, he gets script direction. Like when Spielberg makes a movie, Spielberg makes a movie. There's no executives coming in there and messing with him. On that note, we've now got a tie between Sarah and Mia. We don't have a tiebreaker. We don't know how to do this yet. We really haven't figured it out, and no one has given us any suggestions yet.
Ask the
No,
audience.
we're just gonna run it out. We're gonna run it out. They're gonna keep going until one of them is the supreme winner. You good with that over there, boys? Yeah, see if we can't get you pulled up a little bit more there, Luke. Yeah? Don't forget to turn up your power off if you want to turn it. Okay, sweet. You ready?
Yes, you guys.
Yeah? Okay, here we go. After a 7-year court battle, a man won the legal right to be able to drink wine on his lunch break, not to wear deodorant at work, to listen to music on the radio in the office, or not to be fun at work. If you were going to win the legal right to do something, which one would you be hopeful for? I worked with some Italians for a while, and wine at work was never a problem, so they were not hoping for that one. Great, Sarah and Mia, you have split your answers. Mia, you've got not to be fun at work. What led you there?
I think I remember this fun fact.
Okay, fair. Sarah, not to wear deodorant?
It just seems, work policy sense and
Yeah.
things might go two ways.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Luke, did you take the power up?
I haven't turned it off.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you got it, so you're gonna leave with some good points, and that means Mia is going to be our winner for this round. Congratulations, Mia. You can come join me over here. This is going to be yours, and that is going to get you $150 to the Fun Fact Game Show. You can look up at that camera right there. We're gonna, winner shot. Congratulations. Great work. Love the win. Enjoy it. You can head back to your seat. Miss Russell, there you are. It's going to get you $50 to the Fun Fact Game Show store, so you'll be able to take home a t-shirt with that. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, I always forget this button. There's a special button we got to push here. There it is. There are results for this round. So Mia coming through with quite a bit of accuracy at 62%. Liam Stevens in our audience there with 87%. And we've got Ryan Thoney? All right, Ryan Thoney, Toasty, and Joshua with 100%. I am always wary of 100% online completion, but we did have someone in one of our testing rounds. Her name was Kangol. She came on stage and went 8 for 8. So it is possible. It is something that can happen. Thank you so much for coming on stage and playing with us. And for any of you out there who aren't able to grab one of the winner shirts, you can head to store.funfactgameshow.com, and we've got all our merch laid out there. One other thing I want to talk about just before we get started here. Have any of you seen the controversy around our winner shirts? A couple people. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a pretty big attention to details guy. You will notice this says, I won Fan Fact the Game Show. This is called Fun Fact the Game Show. These are misprints. We're only ever going to make 10 of these, and I've got one of them. So walking home with one of these is quite a collector's item. So I hope you enjoy it. Perfect. How have you all been doing out there? Is everyone feeling warmed up, confident, powerful crowd? Fantastic. Well, let's find out if you are smarter than our online audience in our next category, which is Vancouver versus the world. Yeah, fantastic. So how this is going to work is you are all going to be grouped into one team. You are Vancouver. And all of you watching live on YouTube or Twitch, you can go to play.funfactgameshow.com, create an account, and you are all going to be grouped together as the world. And you are all going to go head to head. If you are wondering, how is that going to work out? There's so few of us, so many of them. The math is mathing. Hannah has taken care of all this in the software, and so it will work out. But first, we are going to need to select the category that we are playing with. We have got fast food, National Toy Hall of Fame, or iconic Ferrari F1 messages, which is an incredibly niche category. That one, I'm looking forward to it because I like it, but it is going to be a very hard category. And we are certainly doing fast food. So fast food is going to be our category here. You can see the levels on the screen behind us. 4 to win. I wish you the very best of luck. The last show, Vancouver took the win, and I was very happy about that. So, wish you all the best of luck. You can talk to each other, but we are mic'd up, so just be cautious of that. Here we go. Fun fact. Scientists in Italy successfully proved pasta makes you skinny, pasta makes you live longer, pasta was created by Italians, or pasta makes you happy. Pasta being created by Italians seems like an easy one, but they've been fighting this battle with the Chinese specifically for a long time over who created the noodle. How did we all look in the venue here? A lot of people going for makes you happy, pasta makes you live longer. It was indeed, pasta makes you happy. Yeah, good work, Vancouver. Yeah, hype it up. Yeah. We can make some noise. There we go. Hype yourselves up. Congratulate yourselves. I feel like this was a very biased study. It was done by Italian scientists in an Italian university, and it was also sponsored by, it wasn't Barilla, but it was some other pasta brand. Very bad research. But, you know, it holds true. Pasta does make you happy. Pardon? They were Italian scientists in Italy being sponsored by Italian money. 58% correct. Great work, Vancouver. Way to take the first round. Let's see if you can't grab this next one. Fun fact, this Midwestern city is viewed as the ultimate test kitchen for fast food items. Green Bay, Wisconsin, Columbus, Ohio, Grand Rapids, Michigan, or Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know my American geography very well in this zone, but this is a city that is often passed through by a ton of traffic. It's a pass-through city. We've got a pretty good split in between these ones. I can't do the math, so I actually have to reveal this answer to know how we did. And that's going to be the world on this one. They've taken you barely. Boo, yes. Just boo. No, we love the world. We love the world. Just barely at 41%. It's Columbus, Ohio. I can't even list to you how many test kitchens, headquarters, distribution centers are in Columbus, Ohio. It's the perfect split of the American demographic from rural to city people to pass-through people. So if ever you want to test like the unreleased fast food items, I suggest a tour of Columbus, Ohio. I don't know why else you would go to. Maybe I need to go to Columbus, Ohio and find out what's good there. All right, Vancouver, I believe in you guys. I think you can pull back this next one. McDonald's ended a 40-year partnership, everyone hates how I say this, with Heinz ketchup. Because McDonald's started making their own ketchup, the contract ended. Heinz wanted more money to continue the partnership, or they hired the old Burger King CEO. There are 2 similar answers in here. It's multiple choice. We are looking for the most correct answer. What is the most correct answer to this question? Lot of you guys leaning towards they hired the old Burger King CEO and they started making their own ketchup. I'm going to reveal this one. You got it, Vancouver. Way to go. Yes, thank you. I love the enthusiasm. With 49% correct, McDonald's did start making their own ketchup, but it was in response to the fact that Burger King hired the Heinz hired the old Burger King CEO, and McDonald's had always had a long partnership with Heinz, and they were like, this is pretty uncool. And they were like, well, you know, what are you going to do? And they were like, we're just going to end this partnership and make our own ketchup. And that's exactly what they did. So they ended a 40-year partnership just for that reason. Okay, Vancouver, well done. 2 on the board. 2 more to go before you take the win on this one. Which U.S. state is flatter than an IHOP pancake? Is it Kansas, North Dakota, Iowa, or Nebraska? A lot of American geography in this category. I'm always surprised by the questions I write. Yes, good work. Talk to each other. Yes. There we go. Whispers and murmurs. Okay. We have got, so I know the correct answer to this one is Kansas, and everyone is pretty heavily labeled on Kansas on this one. I'm going to see how the math works out. The world's taking this one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, oh, wow. I love now we get some energy. There we go. Yeah, too many people went towards Iowa, sadly. This is a very, very old study. It was done back in the 70s or 80s. It was just done by some long-haired scientists who were kind of interested in this thing. They went and bought an IHOP pancake, compared it to the Kansas data, and they found that, indeed, Kansas is flatter than a pancake. You can see your dog leaving for days out there, you know? Okay, Vancouver, tied up. Let's see how you do. Due to a trademark dispute, you can't find Burger Kings in Australia. You can only find Hungry Jack's, Burger Queen's, Hungry Jim's, or the Whopper House. Feel free to talk to each other. I know there's some people in here that have been to Australia before. Okay, a lot of whispers, a lot of whispers. Okay, we got a pretty equal split both online and in person between Whopper House and Hungry Jack's. I can't do the math again. Good work, Vancouver. That's going to take you guys up there. Oh, it's taking a second, eh? Yeah, nice. Okay, that's why I was getting caught off guard by the cheers. I didn't realize I knew before you guys knew. With nice 69% correct on that one. Gonna date myself a little bit there too, but yeah, Hungry Jack's. I'm gonna take a second here to address a fun fact that I got wrong in the past. Long time ago, I made a fun fact about how Wendy's is having a similar issue in Europe because there's a small snack shop in the Netherlands that holds the trademark to Wendy's, but there's like a Wendy's in Romania, one in Georgia, a couple in the UK. I generalized, and so I said, fun fact, the reason there's no Wendy's in Europe is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh my God. I haven't corrected it because every time I need a laugh, I go back to that comment section, and just the venom that's getting spit in that comment section. I'm in Leeds, and I went to a Wendy's yesterday, like, blah! And so, for anyone who's been asking me to address that, there it is. Okay, Vancouver, one more question for you to take the win on this one. Let's see if you can lock it down here. The creators of Outback Steakhouse were laundering money for the cartel, were financed by the Australian government, had never been to Australia, or didn't hold valid work visas in the US. Talk to each other, let them know. What is it? What could it possibly be? It's a very fun question. I like this one. Okay. Wow, it looks like you guys did really talk to each other on that one. Yes, this is the right answer. Once again, I can't do the math. It was, there you go. Vancouver, you've taken the win. It's going to show up in just a second. Yes, you have taken the win. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of all of you. Okay, I'll explain this one first. It was 4 friends. They'd never been to Australia. The Crocodile Dundee trend was going huge in North America. They wanted to capitalize on it, so they just built an Australian-themed restaurant. They stole all the Australian names, like the shrimp on the Barbie and all that stuff. But they'd never been to Australia, and I actually don't know if they ever went. But it's been massively successive in that. Let's see how we did for results here. Are we going to get the results? Oh, it's just going to be this result. You guys won. I'm so happy and so proud of you all. When we designed this game, we were like, will this work? Like, will we be able to work all this out? And I'm so happy that now 2 shows in a row, Vancouver has won. So thank you so much for taking that win. Fantastic. So good. And now it's time, I think it's time for us to get some more people on stage for our second contestant round. Beautiful. So our first contestant coming on stage is going to be Jai. Yeah, sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. What is it? Jai? Okay, perfect. Nice. All right, not too bad. Zibran. Woo! Nice to have you. Welcome. Is it? I'll get you when you get to your microphone there. Sweet. Next, we've got Dolly. Dolly, where are you? Oh, wow. Front row, ready to go. Hi, Dolly. Welcome. And we've got Pavel. Pavel, where are you, Pavel? Welcome. Have a good round. Thank you all so much for joining me here. I'm going to do a quick name. So we've got Jai, nice, and Zibran?
Zebron.
Zebron, okay, close enough. Dolly, nice, and Pavel, fantastic. How did the first couple rounds go for you guys?
Not great. Not awesome.
Now everyone's like shifting? Okay, anyone coming in with a lot of confidence?
Yes.
Yes, nice, Pavel. There we go, super confident, I love that. And my final question, any of you bring me a fun fact?
My name's Dolly.
Love it, fantastic, great work. Okay, that's everyone, so everyone is like, oh, you should ask the people to give you a fun fact, and I was like, that sounds about the same as like the meeting opening of like, tell me about yourself, and you're like, oh, I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. First thing we're gonna need to do is select all of our lovely contestants a category. So we have got legendary World War II snipers, very niche. At the movies and 40-year-old virgin. Everyone keeps choosing the easy categories, and we're just gonna get left with hard categories in the end. We're gonna do at the movies. At the movies is our category. How's everyone's cinematic knowledge over there?
Pretty good.
Not bad, yeah? Okay, these are, I can't remember how, they're pretty random, so I think you've got a decent chance. First question for this round is gonna be, This actor has played a character named Hector in 12 different movies and is sometimes referred to as the ultimate Hector. Was it Noel Guglielmi, Javier Bardem, Guillermo Diaz, or Danny Trejo? Who is the ultimate Hector? He has been Hector in Bruce Almighty, The Fast and the Furious, The Purge, Recoil, Wailing Dead. How did we lean up there? C. Guillermo Diaz. Did anyone know this answer up on stage? Straight guesses? Okay, perfect. So we're just going to reveal it. It's a guy named Noel Guglielmi. Yeah, Noel Guglielmi is the ultimate Hector. Often portrays a gang member. You know, he looks like a Latino, and he often portrays a Latino gang member. He is the complete opposite of that. He does a ton of work in the community. He runs like anti-gang initiative programs for kids. He runs youth outreach, and he's taken this kind of gang member image and used it to an incredible positive to try and get kids out of that life, out of that street, and on a positive path. So kind of a cool reflex to doing something like that. Okay, wish you guys the best. I think one of you is going to take a lead on this next one. This actor performed this maneuver so well, the US military shows it to new recruits as an example of perfect technique. Is it Val Kilmer's rapid reload in Heat, Denzel Washington's blind spot, fire, corner check, and Man on Fire, Keanu Reeves' room clearing in John Wick, or Ben Affleck's tactical vehicle retreat in The Town? Whew, those were wordy. Those were super wordy. This is one of my favorite movie scenes, I think, ever. It's a completely iconic scene. How did we look on stage? Pavel, you're the only one who went for something different. What led you there?
I don't know. Just guess.
Just guesses?
Yeah.
Anyone else feeling confident about their answer on stage?
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with John Wick, right?
It's a very strong guess. It's a very strong guess. It was, however, Val Kilmer. Yes. Val Kilmer, we're going to get the update in a second there. I believe in you guys. Val Kilmer, this is the bank robbery scene in Heat, himself and Robert De Niro escaping the bank. Not only is Val Kilmer's tactical reload shown, but the cover fire and the suppressive fire is something that they often highlight as very strong technique. Okay, I hope you guys get a more easy question. It's one of them, you're going to get one of them. If you keep guessing, one of them is going to come. All right. When actors need to smoke on set, this brand of fake cigarettes, which looks incredibly similar to Marlboro Reds, is a prop master's first choice. Oh, I hit the button. Answer the question. Answer the question. Wrong button. Answer, answer, answer. Every once in a while, I get a little excited. We talked about this at the top of the show, and I hit the wrong button. How did we end up? We've got a bunch of red apples. Zibran, you went for C. What took you there?
I like to make movies in my free time, and one of my friends is also really into it. I kind of remember the name of the fake company because he owns some of these, so I think I got it.
Hey, great work. It is Morley. So yes, you are going to take... We've got Zibran up at 1. It's only a 1-point lead, you guys. Don't lose hope. The power-up's coming. I'm sure. We've got 4 more questions left in this round, I believe. All right, next one. Here we go. Jet Li, he turned down the role of Seraph, the Oracle's helper, in The Matrix, because Warner Brothers wanted to only sign him for a 1-movie deal, replace his stunt double with a Hollywood local. They wanted the rights to his martial arts studio or the rights to all of his kung fu. This is pre-AI. This is just straight up, what did this studio want from him that he said, I cannot accept this trade? How did we all lean on stage? We're going to have to wait to see that. Oh, D's straight across the board. Jai, you're the only one who switched up. What led you there?
First, I'll say I didn't vote for this category, but
Fair enough.
B seems to me like the only thing a studio could ask of an actor.
Fair enough. Pavel?
Just something that seems to be about right.
Yeah, okay.
Something absurd, like that you need to cancel, so because of that. So.
Fair. Dolly?
Yeah, I wouldn't give my moves to anybody either.
Yeah, smart. They did want his moves. That is what they wanted. They wanted to scan all of his kung fu moves. You guys have got that one? Sorry, this is, we're getting a little delay here. They wanted all his kung fu moves, so they wanted to throw him in like a motion capture, get all his kung fu moves, throw them into a library. They would own them forever, and he would lose the rights to them. And he was like, absolutely not. Why would I do that? Which I was kind of happy about, because Colin Chu is fantastic in that role. All right, where are we at? We've got Zibran up in 2. Jai, you should get the power up here if you choose to take it. Pavel and Dolly, you're nipping at his heels. You're close. We got 3 questions left in this round. Christopher Mintz-Plasse who played Fogel in Superbad, had never acted before, and after his audition, Jonah Hill told the producers, I don't think he's the right guy for the part. I think there are better choices. Do not hire that guy, or you have to hire that guy. What would Jonah Hill's response have been to Fogel? They were incredible in the movie together. Some of the best on-screen chemistry I think we've seen in the last 30 years. It was amazing. How did we all lean? We've gone C, C, C. Jai, did you take the power up?
No.
No, you didn't. Okay. Did anyone know the answer to this one? Or are we guessing across? Pavel, you look confident.
I think it was that he hated him.
He did. He hated him. Yeah, he hated him. Yes. So the on-screen, it's gonna hook up. The on-screen chemistry that you see between them, especially when they're arguing with each other, is 100% genuine. In the audition, the producers asked Christopher Mintz-Plasse and Jonah Hill to riff off of each other, and it was his first audition. He'd never been in a movie before. He went ham in the audition, and it was to the point where like they had to take him out of the room. Jonah Hill was stark raving mad, just like, don't hire that guy, I hate him, I can't work with that guy. And they were like, perfect, that's our guy. And that's how he ended up in the movie. All right, how are we looking? We still got Zibran up ahead. Jai, may as well hit that power up, bro. No shame, you know? You can take it, you can take it. 2 questions left. This actor, he only starred in 5 movies. All 5 of them were selected to be preserved in the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress. Was it Steve Buscemi, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sam Rockwell, or John Cazale? Okay, I'm gonna try not to give anything away about this one, which is gonna leave me just babbling for the next 1 second. Fantastic. A big spread on this one. Jai, did you take it?
I figure I don't lose anything, right? So.
Well, you do. Well,
I mean, it doesn't matter if I lose the round.
Yeah, you are a little down and out. I respect that. Pavel?
I think I misclicked, so...
You think it was correct?
I think it was the wrong answer, but that's fine.
Well, maybe. Zibran, you said you were a film guy? What led you?
Hoffman sounds familiar. That's all I got.
Okay. Dolly?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? This has been one of the hard... We've done this question a couple times, and it's been a hard one. It was John Cazale, who you might remember for playing Fredo, Michael's little brother in The Godfather 2. He was in Godfather 1, 2, The Conversation, Dog Day Afternoon, and The Deer Hunter, and then he contracted stage 4 lung cancer and died. Sad. I know, sad, but that is kind of why he was only in 5 movies, went on an all-time run, and then just dipped out, which I have a huge amount of respect for. That might have been a little insensitive. Anyways, it's live. We got 1 question left in this category. Zibran, you could take it away here, but Dolly or Pavel could steal this win from you, and then we're gonna have to go into the sudden death again. Here we go. Last question for this round, maybe. Oh, great question. This is a really hard one. It's never been directly mentioned in the film, but based on various pieces of evidence from the story and the scenes leading up to his deployment in Vietnam, we can assume Forrest Gump was part of which controversial Department of Defense initiative? Operation Ranch Hand, MK Ultra, the Blue Ribbon Defense Panel, or Project 100,000? Rip a guess. I wrote this question to talk about the answer. It's very insensitive to our contestants as well as everyone in here, but I love the explanation to this question. How did we all lean? We've got, did anyone not guess? Did everyone guess? Did anyone feel confident about their answer? No? Okay, hard category. Real sorry about this one. It was C. It was Project 100,000. I was sorry I was insensitive on the last question because this one is harsh as well. They were also known as McNamara's Morons or Moron Corps. The Secretary of Defense, Robert McNamara, he lowered the ability to get into the US military. So they started drafting and recruiting incredibly low IQ individuals, as well as people who might have not been able to qualify due to a physical issue. They were put into a corps and thrown onto the front lines, and they suffered casualties 3 times higher than any other unit in Vietnam. And it's a very bad program that you should maybe have a look into, because it's very interesting. They were going to make this a part of Forrest Gump, but the Pentagon opposed it, and so there's just little hints left behind in the script of what it actually was. But we're gonna keep going. Oh no, we're not. That's gonna give Zibran the win. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God, I lost it there. Zibran, come on over. You guys can just wait there for a second. This is gonna be yours. come on over. You can just look at that red camera over there, guy holding up his hand. This is yours. And we're just gonna, right on. Congratulations, great round. It's nice having you. Hard fought round, guys. Congratulations, enjoy it. Thanks so much for coming up, Dolly. Jai, enjoy that. Thank you so much to our contestants who came up and played that round. You know, we're gonna look at the results real quick. And we have got Zibron, he took it away with 42% accuracy. Come on. Dolly and Pavel with 28%. Mamma mia. Mia, you did great out there in the crowd with 83%. Roy A, Adam Farrell, and Morgan H. Liam and Bailey doing great over in the corner as well. Thank you for pushing through that contestant round, everyone. I have been working so hard on trying different question styles, different question types, just to find the right balance of too hard and just right, you know? Speaking of just right, this next category, it's just a little palate cleanser, and I like to call it similarities. Yay! I know, those animations are so fun. So as you can tell from that little logo there, this is going to go like this. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and then the 4th question is, what made all of those answers similar? I'll repeat back the answers, but just keep it in the back of your mind, like, is there a theme running here? What's similar about these things? Let's figure out which question set we are going for. Oh, I love this one. The stick-up artist in the HBO classic The Wire specialized in robbing heavily armed stash houses and would announce his presence by whistling The Farmer in the Dell. Was it Stringer Bell, Michael Lee, Omar Little, or Weebay? Anyone familiar with The Wire? Incredible show. It was written by David Simons, who was a Baltimore Sun news reporter, and Ed Burns, who was a former police officer, which gave everything like a really rich, organic feel. How did we all look here? A lot of people in the venue went for Weebay, very memorable character. It was Omar, of course. It was Omar who robbed stash houses. He was actually based off of a real person. A lot of the characters that you see in The Wire, because it was written by a crime reporter and a police officer, they actually took an amalgamation of a lot of the criminals, corrupt politicians, and police officers in their city and wrote them into the story. And you can find a huge history on what characteristics of each character. You look like you got something to... Oh, really? Yes? You're completely correct, and I was just about to mention Donnie Andrews, who Omar is based off of, appears in season 4 and acts as Omar's protection while he's in jail. Great, love that. Thank you so much. All right, on to our next one. After Jackie Jr. robbed the card game in The Sopranos, he hid out with this character and his daughter in the Boonton Projects. Was it Lenny, Ray Ray, Mr. X, or Matouche? It's gonna be a strong HBO category. There's gonna be a reason for it. I know I can give that away right now. Anyone know The Sopranos? Are we still up on The Sopranos, or am I exposing myself as a millennial? I am exposing myself as a millennial. Fantastic. A lot of people in here, Lenny was a strong guess, but it was Ray Ray. I actually, when I wrote this question, thought it was Mr. X. I forgot that his name was Ray Ray, and he had a daughter, Lena, and it was Jackie, who is referred to as Mr. X. All right, last one before what made all of these similar. In Boardwalk Empire, this character delivers a chilling monologue about his father's murder that ends with, "I ain't building no bookcase." Was it, "Oh, I hit the button, answer, quickly, answer. I'm so sorry about that, answer, quickly." Was it Dunn Burnsley, Chalky White, Van Nassis, or Oscar Burnham? I gotta stop doing that. It's just like that, you know, that really instinctive button. A lot of people look like they knew this one in the venue. It was Chalky White. Chalky White, this is I never know where community guidelines lie in this one. Chalky had one of his men taken by a rival gang, and to secure the vote for Nucky, this was the exchange that they made. Great. So what made all of these questions similar? That's going to be our next question. So we had Omar, we had Ray Ray, and now we've had Chalky White. So the actor who played these characters is the only actor who appeared in all 3 of HBO's perfect TV shows: The Wire, The Sopranos, and Boardwalk Empire. What was his name? Was it Idra Elbis, Wendell Pierce, Michael K. Williams, or Jeffrey Wright? Who was the actor that played all 3 of these characters? Only person in all 3 of the perfect HBO shows. A lot of people went for Wendell Pierce, who I can't even picture in my head. The online audience absolutely smashed this question. It was Michael K. Williams. Yes, Michael K. Williams. He played Omar, Chalky White, and Ray Ray. He sadly died on September 6th, 2021, and we have now lost it. Wow, a lot of morbid things happening in this game show today. I'm going to have to review this in the future. But I think it's one of the most incredible acting accolades out there, in line with John Cazale, of just the only actor to be in all 3 of those just incredible TV shows. So let's see, how did we all do out there? Kieran, Alyssa, and Lennon coming up strong in the audience on this category. Griff, Michelle, and Bonnie, 100%. Always suspicious. But if you knew it, you knew it, and I'm so proud of you. All right, to round off tonight's show, we're just going to do one more contestant round. Yes. All right, let's see who's coming on stage. It's going to be Cameron S. Cameron, where are you? Coming from the back row. Great to have you, Cameron. You can just grab your spot at the far end there. We've got a new rag? A new rag? Yes, there you are. Did I say it right? Did I get close? Anurag. Thank you so much. All right. Next contestant is going to be Natasha. Natasha, welcome. Welcome. Would you like to play down, you're happy? Fair, welcome. And our last contestant coming on stage today, Charlie F. Charlie, where are you? There he is. Charlie, welcome. Thanks for not having me coming. Right on. Okay, last time I'm going to ask this. How has everyone done tonight? Any strong performances on stage? No, it's
Terrible.
Not very well.
tough questions out there. Is anyone feeling confident now going into this round? Just trusting themselves, believing, feeling powerful?
Yeah.
Yeah? There we go. That's what I like. I like a bit of confidence coming out, like, believe in yourselves. You know it. You got it. Okay, we're going to need to select a category for these players, and hopefully it's a kind one. Ooh, very interesting. We've got 40-year-old virgin. We've got, oh man. Legendary. We're flipping between, it looks like we're going to go for 40-year-old virgin. Anyone familiar with the movie up here?
Yeah.
Yes? No. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm locking it then. Okay, it's going to be 40-year-old virgin. I personally love this category, and I really like the questions in it, so I hope all of you do as well. Okay, wish you all the best up there. Andy's primary mode of transportation is bus, Vespa scooter, electric skateboard, or bike. How did Andy, I can't remember what the girlfriend's name is, but he has to go pick her up, and he says, I can come pick you up, but I only have what did we go for? B's across the board, Vespa scooter. How did everyone feel about their answer up there? Anyone know the answer? No? Just guessing up there? Okay, fair enough. It was a bike. Andy rode a bike. So close. Andy rode a bike. You might remember, she says, oh, I love bikes. My boyfriend in college had a motorcycle. And he goes, well, no, I got a 12-speed. But he was always, watching out for the environment. All right, belief. After seeing the footage from the first week of filming, Universal wanted to shut down 40-year-old virgin because they thought there was too much improvisation. They thought Steve Carell's character looked like a serial killer. They thought Steve Carell had been cast wrong, or they thought the movie was too vulgar. They saw 1 week of takes, and it was actually, funny enough, all bike footage. Their opinion was completely based on footage they had shot of him riding the bike. We've got the movie's too vulgar, serial killer. Natasha, you were the only outlier. You went for, they thought the movie was too vulgar.
Yeah, I think they thought it was just maybe too much, the waxing.
The waxing. We have a question about the waxing scene. It's a very interesting scene, actually. Something interesting went on. The rest of you up there did quite well. They did think, yeah. They wanted to shut down the production. They were like, Steve Carell, he looks like a serial killer. And that's why throughout the movie, they keep making jokes about that. Multiple times the characters say, oh, are you sure you want to invite him to the card game? He looks like a serial killer. Oh, of course he can't get any women. He looks like a serial killer. So they kept wrapping it into the actual movie, this feedback. All right, good work, gentlemen. You're up on the board. We're going to see how we can't keep going on this one. Judd Apatow and Steve Carell wrote the wrote a part in this movie for this actor, but the studio denied his casting. Was it Bill Hader, Michael Cera, I don't know how to say his last name, Jason Segel, or Danny McBride? I will say he was in many of the Apatow universe movies afterwards, but they just wouldn't accept him for this production. Okay, we've got quite a few on Segel. Charlie, you're the only outlier. Michael Cera, what led you there?
I had no idea.
Nice, just a guess? Anyone
Good guess.
strong up there? Anyone feeling like they knew the answer? You looked very confident on the back there. You looked like you had a
It was a pure guess.
pure guess. It was a great guess. It was, does anyone actually know how to say that last name? Thank you. It was Jason Segel, and he was so heartbroken by this that Judd Apatow told him, like, if you want to be in these movies, you're going to have to prove to the studios that you should be there. And that led him to write Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is how he got his foot in the Hollywood door, was through Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which later got tied in to get him to the Greek. Kind of a good Hollywood story for getting up there. Okay, we are starting to see some differences. You guys will get the power up when you're 2 down. So it might come to you after this next question, but hopefully not. Okay, TechSmart, the fictional electronics store where Andy works, was modeled off of which real-life electronics store? Radio Shack, Best Buy, CompUSA, or Circuit City? There was one very specific thing that makes them similar. It's the commission structure, if that is a hint that helps anyone. But which electronics store were they modeled after? We've got A's across the board for Radio Shack. What led everyone to, anyone not guessing? Anyone feeling confident?
Just kind of a retro.
Retro vibe?
Timeline.
Just the vibe of it, yeah.
It was the commission model, which is something Circuit City had.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is why in the movie they're always arguing over customers because the only way they make money is off commission. And this was something Circuit City had. They eventually got rid of it because it was ruining their stores. All their salespeople were just arguing with each other, so they ended up scrapping it and just paying everyone base wage. We've got 3 questions left in this category. I can't read either of your names. Anurag? Anurag and Cameron. You're close. You're tied up. We'll see how this one goes. Okay. During the argument between Mooj and Jay, after Mooj steals Jay's customer because of the commission model, Mooj tells Jay, when I remove the blade from my boot, I cannot put it back in its sheath until it has spilled blood. This is almost a direct word-for-word translation of how this fictional warrior culture talks about their weapons. So the Mandalorians, the Klingons, the Fremen, or the Dothraki? Everyone excited for Dune 3 coming out? Yes, thank you. Has anyone read the books? Yeah, the books are fantastic. I highly recommend getting out there and reading those books. They're great. We've got a huge split in answers. Natasha and Charlie going for the Klingons. Star Trek fans?
My dad
Oh, yeah.
was,
Yeah, nice. Okay, great answer. We've got Anurag going for the Dothraki.
Pure guess.
Pure guess. And Cameron, the star, into the Mandalorians?
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of like a nerdy vibe, and they wanted to like match the nerdy vibe of like the 40-year-old virgin, you know?
Yeah, very close. Sadly, it was the Fremen. It was the Fremen from Dune. Yes, if you've read the books, as some of you have out there, they cannot, once the weapon's been taken out, it's got to spill blood, which will often lead them to cut their hands or their arms so that they can, do their honor to their weapon before returning it. I know, very interesting warrior culture. Highly recommend those books. We got 2 questions left. Anurag and Cameron, you're still tied up. You're very close. Let's see how we go. Fun fact. Universal Pictures bought the entire cast and crew champagne for achieving this milestone. They finished finishing the movie 10 days ahead of schedule, shooting the entire movie only using natural light, shooting over 1 million feet of film, or only using half of their budget. Why would you, as a studio, buy these guys champagne for the whole cast? It actually ties into one of our earlier questions, too. How did we go? Using only daylight, across the board, D's. Everyone's very happy with that answer. You guys would love if they underspent their budget. And Anurag, you said you had a little film hobby, so you know how the budgets work. They're tough to get past.
I didn't say that.
You didn't?
No.
Too much champagne.
Well, I'm glad I put that into my head. They shot over 1 million feet of film. They did so much improvisation that they shot over 1 million feet of film. Studio was actually pretty unhappy about it, but they figured, hey, champagne for everyone. That's how we're going to sort this out. But yeah, they were not super thrilled, but they already spent the money. They already ran the film. They may as well celebrate them. Okay, this could be our last question, or Cameron and Anurag, you guys could stay tied up. So I hope we see some separation. The entire movie was written around this scene: the poker game, the telemarketing phone call, the health clinic seminar, or the speed dating scene. Steve Carell ran this as a skit back in the day, posted it on his YouTube. I think it was also repeated as an SNL skit. How did we lean? Everyone went for D, we went for an A, the speed dating scene. Natasha, what took you to A?
I don't know, I said poker game in my head.
Yeah, fair enough. It actually was the poker game. Yeah. So we're gonna keep going if you guys are happy to do it. It was an old skit from Steve Carell's YouTube channel. It was just like a funny YouTube skit, and it was all written around that, like, you know, when you're with a woman and it's like bags of sand, those sandy bags. That whole movie is written off that one line in that one scene. They expanded it all out because they thought that joke was so funny. And that's what the whole movie is based on, that one poker game scene. Okay, I wish you guys the best, some separation. This film was slated to be a sequel for 40-Year-Old Virgin, but ultimately was made as a standalone film. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, This Is 40, Funny People, or Knocked Up. We already talked about Forgetting Sarah Marshall a little bit and how that went for Jason Segel. So let's see how everyone leans. How did we do on stage? Anurag and Cameron both went for D. Natasha, Charlie, do you feel confident about that answer? Just
Full gas again.
throwing it out there. Natasha, how was that for you?
Do not feel confident. No.
Do not feel confident? Well, our two boys on the end are going to keep battling it out because you guys got it. Knocked Up was originally slated to be a sequel to 40-Year-Old Virgin. It didn't really line up, though, honestly. If you know those two movies, they would have made no sense together, so they just kind of made it its own standalone. We're going to keep going for a couple questions here, see if we can't get some separation. There's your question. There it is. The chest waxing scene was 100% real, and Steve Carell's real chest hair was removed. The scene was extra painful, and Steve was only half acting. Why was the waxing scene so painful? The actress playing the esthetician lied about knowing how to wax. The directors told the esthetician to make it painful. The production crew used the wrong kind of wax, or they waxed the hair against the grain. I don't personally know much about waxing, so I don't know how they would have made it extra painful, but let's see how our two... Okay, we've separated. Charlie, did you take the power up?
I didn't.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't see it.
That's all right.
I just saw it.
Cameron, you went for C. What the wrong kind of wax, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking that's an honest mistake that like a production company, like it's a bunch of dudes probably that like don't know how to wax, so they probably just bought like some random type of wax.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Anurag, B? You went for director told the esthetician to make it extra painful?
I think they want to make the scene as real as possible.
Yeah? It was actually, the esthetician lied. She had no, we still got 2 questions left if you guys want to keep playing up here. The esthetician lied. She had never waxed before. She lied in her audition. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you're waxing someone's chest, you can take their nipple off. You can wax someone's nipple off. And so they're doing the waxing scene, they're doing it, and they have their actor safety person there. And this woman who had lied about knowing how to wax put wax straight over Steve Carell's nipple and everything. And the dude jumped in and was like, whoa, like, this is not good. And she's like, oh, and they're like, what is going on here? Like, you said you were an esthetician. She's like, no, I lied to get the part. And so they almost took his nipple off. Came so close, but it was an extra painful scene because she had no idea what she was doing. Yeah, not great. Okay, we've got 2 questions left in this category. In the question bank, I really hope you guys can separate yourselves here. We're going back to the argument between Mooj and Jay. During the argument between Mooj and Jay, after Mooj steals Jay's customer, Mooj tells Jay about the ceremonial knife in his boot. Jay then threatens to hang Mooj by his turban, and since Mooj doesn't wear a turban, he calls Jay a racist. Which religion does carry a ceremonial knife and wear a turban? Is it the born-again Buddhist, the Sikhs, or the Zoroastrians, or the Hindus? Very niche question. One of my favorites that I think I've written. Very hard, I will admit. I wish you guys all the best over on the contestant side. We've got B's on 6. Did you boys know the answer to this one? Yeah, straight up. Charlie, did you take the power up?
I did.
Good move. And Natasha, how did that go for you?
Yeah, I knew it.
You did. It is the 6, indeed. 6 carry both, yes, there it is. It's up on the board. Initiated, I got to say this one right. It is the Khalsa 6. They have the 5 Ks of their faith, which are the Kesh, It's not just anything under a turban. They don't cut their hair. Sikhs believe that we were made perfectly in the image of God, therefore cutting our hair would change that image so that the turban is wrapping up all the hair. They've got the kankha, which is a wooden comb to keep the hair clean. Kara, steel bracelet. The kachara, which are a short underpant. And the kirpan, which is their curved sword that they keep, which is meant to symbolize courage, self-defense, and their duty to protect the weak and oppressed. So there's a little deep question, fun fact for you. We've got one question left in this question bank. So either you guys separate yourselves, or I'm gonna have to print one more fan fact shirt for one of you. Okay, here it is, last one. Andy has a massive action figure / toy collection, which he's highly protective over. How does this toy collection serve as a metaphor for Andy's virginity? They're all they're sorted alphabetically instead of by universe. They're in mint condition still in the box. They're missing their weapons, or they're facing backwards in his room. How would these toys serve as a metaphor for the whole movie that we are watching? Let's see, did you boys separate yourselves? You both went for B, as did Charlie. Too obvious of a question. And that's it, it's just a tie. I don't have anything else here. So, I'm going to get both of you to come with me over here. You are going to, for now, share this shirt. We're going to talk after the show. I'll get each of you a gift certificate and a shirt. But you can look at that red camera up there. We're all going to smile. Congratulations, guys. Come see me after the show and we'll work it out. You can just head back to your seats. That's for you. Oh, Charlie, hold on one second. You get a gift card. You're so welcome. Thanks for coming up and playing. Enjoy yourselves. And if any of you at home or in the audience want to get yourself a piece of merch, you can go to store.funfactgameshow and do so there. Let's see our results here for everyone. Cameron coming through with a 45%, as did Anurag. Cassie Dory in the audience out there, 54%. Same with PJ's, sick name, I love that. And I'm not going to try and pronounce that last one. Maka, Peter, and Ollie are online people, and no 100%, which means that might have been too hard of a question. That's the end of our games for today. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. We're going to check a quick post-game recap here. I'm really hoping there's no surprises back there, but we're going to find out right here. Oh, it all went great. Mamma Mia. Mia did really well in Vancouver here, coming through with a 6% accuracy. Roy, A, online with 80, sorry, I went too fast. Bailey, congratulations, 58% accuracy. Woo, Bailey over there. And as well as Kieran coming in third with a 58% accuracy. Roy, A, Ollie, and Maka on our online. And coming into our new top three, Roy A has pushed himself into first place in the all-time leaderboard, followed by Cassie Dory and Ryan D. Congratulations to all of our people playing along with us. I don't know who I'm congratulating. Congratulations to all of you guys. Thank you all so much for coming and joining me here for this show. This is the second time we've done this. This is completely new. This was a baby for me for a long time. I'm really grateful that you all took the chance, took the risk to come see just the second episode. I know it usually takes a while for things to get to where they need to be, but I've loved playing with all of you. Thank you all so much for coming and joining me. We're back in Vancouver next week on July 24th for our last show of this run, but there'll be more later. And with that, give a friend a call that you haven't talked to in a while. Good night, everyone. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate that. Thanks.